Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first press conference for today. Real quick, just the satellite coordinates before we get started. The format is 1080i. The data rate is 11.914. Symbol is 7.2. The FEC is 5/6. The MPEG is 4.420. The modulation is DVB-S2 QPSK. Audio channels mono 1 and 2, and pilot's off. Just ask that you silence your cell phones. There's no flash photography or video recording allowed. And members of the media, when asking questions, we just ask that you raise your hand and wait for the handlers to bring the mic around before asking a question, and just identify yourself by name and affiliation before asking your question. And we ask that you direct your question to a specific student athlete. We are now being joined by 3 student athletes from Mount St. Mary's: Junior Robinson, Chris Ray, and Elijah Long. And also the SID for Mount St. Mary's is Mark Vandergrift. Mark was around here somewhere. I think he left the room, but. There's Mark. Hey, guys. Good, how are you? Good. All right, we'll open the floor for questions for our student athletes. Okay. Somebody got a question here on the right? Yeah, right here. Back right.
Daryl Bruce, Mount St. Mary's University. Gentlemen, how does it feel to be in your first NCAA tournament and starting out here in Dayton, Ohio?
Chris, can you answer that first, and we'll just get on the line that way.
I mean, for me individually, it's a blessing to be here, you know, and we're going to take full advantage of it.
A surreal moment. I mean, words can't explain, and, you know, I always jump to be here, and thankfully I'm here.
It's an honor. I'm just thankful to be here. It's a dream come true.
You're on the right.
Lily O2, Mount St. Mary's. This is a question for Elijah Long. Just quick question about you and your brother both being in the NCAA tournament, and what does that mean to you and your family?
This goes back, way back when we used to play in the backyard. I mean, this probably means way more to my mom and dad than it means to us, because we've been playing basketball our whole lives. And I feel like we don't really look at it like that, you know, but, you know, seeing that he's in the NCAA March Madness and I'm in NCAA March Madness actually is, like I said, surreal. So I think when we get older, we're going to look back and, like, say that was a crazy experience. But as of right now, going through it, I don't think we're looking at it as it should be looked at right now. But, yeah, it's a good experience, I guess.
Back right. Mike.
Guys, it's the start of a second season, so to speak, but how do you turn the page from a regular season and a conference season or a conference tournament to now in the NCAA once you get on the court?
Chris?
I just think we try to keep it the same way we have during the whole year. I mean, we just try to keep it one game at a time. So, I mean, that way you can't distract yourself from other things going on. Because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with this, and you can say it's the start of a new season, but we just have to keep the same mentality, just one game at a time.
Elijah?
I would say, like, piggyback off of what Chris Ray said, I think if we just lock in on ourselves a little bit more than we did in the season, because, you know, these teams that obviously are here are meant to be here. They're really good teams. So I feel like just the littlest things that we can lock in a little bit more into will help us be successful in this tournament.
Junior?
Like they said, we just got to be more focused and just come out and be ready to play, honestly.
Here on the right.
Junior, Connor O'Neill from the Burlington Times News. I don't know if you've heard of me.
Hey, Connor.
Since last Tuesday, how have things been around campus, and what's been the mood around there?
Well, nobody's really been on campus, so we've just been to ourselves, like celebrating within each other and just being like brothers.
Any further questions for our student athletes? All right, Junior, Chris, and Elijah, thank you, and good luck tomorrow night. Next scheduled start for press conference is 4:40. We'll be joined by the head coach of Mount St. Mary's, Jamian Christian. We good? All right, we're now being joined by the head coach of Mount St. Mary's, Jamie and Christian. Hey, Jamie. John. Nice to meet you. Jamie, if you like, you can make an opening statement, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
But first of all, just can't say how enthusiastic, how happy we are to be here in Dayton. Just one of the best venues for college basketball. The way they celebrate our game each year is really special. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to be back here in Dayton with a chance to start off another great March Madness session. And we're really excited about playing New Orleans. They're a great team. They've had a great year. We've also had a great year. And so we're excited about the opportunity to jump it up here tomorrow night.
Questions for Coach?
You guys have played on.
Hold on just a sec. Get away from the mic.
You guys have played on these stages before this season. How much value do you assign to that going into this game?
Well, I think experience is really valuable, and I think experience is really valuable, and I really feel like when you're able to go through something before and just be able to have a foundation for it, I think it just makes your team stronger. We've also obviously played a very national schedule. We've been on TV several times this year, and our juniors and senior class have been on TV a lot of times. So I don't think the stage will bother them as much as maybe it did for us 2 or 3 years ago. But I do think that just understanding the schedule, the time demands when you get here, from your media obligations to your practice time to the things you need to do, I do think that our experience here will help us.
Front right again.
Since so much of your team wasn't here in 2014, are you treating this like a new experience?
Well, it's a new, every experience that we're going to have with this year's team is going to be a unique experience for each one of these guys. And so because of that, we try to treat it as a unique experience for them. But as coaches who've been here before, we try to set the schedule in a way that allows them time to enjoy their experience, but also understand, what we've got to do with the different time demands. So, like for example, today we wanted to get out here a little bit later than we did before, maybe get our guys a little bit more rest between last night's selection show and the time we got here today, and then just making sure that we spend more time in the ballroom walking through stuff than trying to get extra practice in, because that can be a little bit hectic for the guys, and you want them being fresh and confident and aggressive, and sometimes you can overdo it with them being on the floor as much.
Turn left.
What makes Junior Robinson such a special player? I mean, he doesn't have a lot of size, obviously, but seems like he's had a really great year for you guys.
Yeah, Junior's an inspiration to all of us, right? I mean, you look at him, he's 5'5", he's 165 pounds. He's worked really hard to get up to 165 pounds, believe it or not, really lifting and working hard at it. But, he's such a special player because he's got an enormous heart. And usually you say that about someone who isn't as talented of a player that he is. But he's just the type of guy that, every single day he'll be one of the hardest workers and just understands what he needs to do. As he's continued to grow up and mature in our program, he's just developed such a winning character inside of him. And, the last year he's been so locked into winning and doing whatever our team needs him to do to help us win that he's really had a chance to show the world his heart and how much he loves playing this game, not just for himself or to showcase his ability, but to showcase to the world how much he loves his teammates. And I think you see that when he plays with Elijah Long, how much energy they play together, and it's really special. And he was really the leader of that. When Elijah came in, he's a year older than Elijah. He really helped to bring him along well. And, those two guys in the backcourt for us are really special. So when you look at Junior, you see a guy with an enormous heart, a tremendous talent level, and a true compassion and empathy level for his teammates. And when you have a guy that can play like that with that kind of talent, you're going to have a really special season.
Front left.
Yes, Jim Klein, Peter, with the Times-Picayune from New Orleans. What's the biggest challenge you have in facing a team like UNO?
Yeah, great question. Number one, we haven't seen a team like them this season. And anytime you get to this time of year and you got the top 68 teams left in the country, you're dealing with elite versus elite, and every team in this tournament is an elite team. And so the things that are going to separate us from New Orleans or us from whoever are going to be really small things. One of the things that New Orleans did an outstanding job of, they're tremendous, inside that lane line. They really are going to play a physical game. They're great at getting to the free throw line, and they really do a great job of playing with a high experience level in areas that they're really good at. They turn you over a good bit because they're really good trying to take the ball from you. So they're quite a big challenge for us. We haven't seen a team like that this season. I don't think they've seen a team like us this year either. And so I think this makes for a really intriguing game tomorrow night because both teams are a little bit different than what we've seen. Both teams are different from league play, and both teams have gotten a lot better from the beginning of the year until now. And so the team that's going to be able to lock into the little things the best and be able to execute their style of play over the other is going to have the best opportunity to pull out a win here tomorrow.
Any further questions, front right?
Of the teams you've played, who does New Orleans remind you of the most?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was trying to explain that earlier today. I think they're a combination of Long Island and of LIU and a combination of LIU and Robert Morris. You look defensively, Robert Morris is about 90 in the country. I want to say New Orleans is somewhere around 100, 104 or so. So very good defensively, great at taking the ball away from you. They don't block a lot of shots, but that means they play great positional defense and really do a great job of stealing the ball from you, especially on drives. So we've got to do a great job taking care of the basketball and making them play, in the half court. And they're one of the better transition offensive teams, similar to LIU, in terms of, they're well over 1 point per possession in transition. And that's a pretty significant number. That shows that not only do they attack you when they rebound the ball, but when they steal it from you, they score it. So we've got to do a great job of being able to play. Those opponents, we played really close games with both those opponents this year. And both those opponents are really, really good teams. So to have a combination of those two teams shows a lot of respect for New Orleans and what they've been able to accomplish this season, being able to be a combination of two very good teams that are on our schedule.
Any further questions for Coach? Yeah, middle right.
It's been a little bit of a wait for you guys since your last game. What's practice been like this week without knowing your opponent?
Well, practice with us is always full of enthusiasm and energy, so that's one thing they always bring. We did give them 2 days off. Thought it was really important. I think in general in life and in the course of this, you want to take that time to enjoy big moments in your life. Every one of those guys in that locker room were looking forward to winning a conference championship and a tournament championship their entire life. So I want them to really have at least 48 hours to kind of take a deep breath and enjoy it. I think they did enjoy it. And then we brought them back on Friday just to kind of settle it in a little bit, kind of refocus ourselves on what it was going to take to prepare for whatever opponent we needed to do, just kind of sharpen our craft, so to speak. I thought our guys had great focus and were ready to do that on Friday. We had another great day on Saturday where we got up and down. Played a little bit, got up and down for about 20 minutes and executed well. And on Saturday and then on Sunday we did the same thing. So practice has been great. Guys have had a great focus. I will say the last time we were coming here, I think we took too many days off. And so we wanted to kind of make that change, make sure we kept our guys in attack mode. I thought the guys did an outstanding job of that. But we got great leadership, Khalid Nwandu and Will Miller and Charles Glover, those seniors we have here that have been here before. They really want an opportunity to play well here. And so they really did a great job leading our group through the last few days.
What does it take to refocus the team over these few days?
Yeah. Well, we've got a great group of guys. These guys are really hungry. And, I would say they expected to have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. We lost a year ago in our tournament, and the guys got right to work immediately. A week later, these guys were right back in the gym, spending a lot of time in there and trying to get better. So, I think they really expected to be here. They wanted to be here. And so to refocus them, it doesn't take a whole lot because they naturally want to be good. They naturally are competitors, and if you're a competitor, you want to show that what you do best works against the very best. There's no other tournament that really provides that better than the NCAA tournament. You're going to sit here with 68 teams, all with an opportunity to win and play at the highest level. And so your ability to refocus is basically connected to your ability to survive in this tournament. And so our guys, they understand it. They have great focus towards it. They were able to refocus and kind of move on to the next goal pretty quickly.
Any further questions? Jamie, thank you. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you all.
Yep. Next scheduled start for press conference is 5:05. We'll be joined by the student athletes from New Orleans at 5:05.